The measures under discussion are part of the existing so-called area of justice, freedom and security, of which immigration is a part. This is about a common immigration and asylum policy, and however much the British government may lie to the British people, we know that they intend that Britain should eventually be bound by it. But a one-size-fits-all immigration policy will not work for Britain. Britain is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, more densely populated, surprisingly, than India, China and Japan. Net immigration to Britain is now running at about 230,000 people per annum, adding over 1 million new people to the population every 5 years. The population will rise from its current 61.4 million, an all-time high, to about 70 million plus in 2031, and then spiral ever upwards. All this growth is due to immigration and bursts to immigrants. The UK Independence Party is not opposed to some immigration, but this should be strictly controlled and for the benefit of Britain and not the European Union or anybody else. Britain does not need a common European immigration policy. What we need to do is to end mass immigration now, introduce a strictly limited and controlled immigration policy. We should apply the terms of the 1951 Convention on Refugees, which requires them to seek sanctuary in the first designated safe country they come to, which is not a little island off the coast of Europe called Britain. We should end the promotion of multiculturalism, which is divisive and a recipe for conflict, and assimilate and integrate existing migrants into a common culture with respect for a common set of political and legal institutions. There should be no place in Britain, and I suggest anywhere in Europe, for Sharia law.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to speak in support of the contention made by my colleague, Mr. Campbell-Bannerman. In 2006, the Swiss federal government commissioned a report on all aspects of existing and possible relationships with the European Union. They concluded that full membership of the EU would cost them up to 6 times their current bilateral arrangements. The Swiss, being the Swiss, decided that they were better off by not joining or achieving full EU membership. If that is true for the Swiss, it is certainly true for the British, and if only our government had as sensible and pragmatic a view of their economy of Britain as the Swiss has of Switzerland, then we would leave just as the Swiss would not join. Thank you, Mr. President. On the 2nd of October, the Irish will have a referendum on the Lisbon Treaty. The Lisbon Treaty is almost identical to the European Constitution, which was rejected outright by the French and the Dutch. The Lisbon Treaty has already been rejected by the Irish once. But no is always the wrong answer as far as the European Union is concerned when it comes to further political integration. And so the Irish are forced to have yet another referendum so they can deliver the only answer that is acceptable to the European Union, which is yes. The European Union is destroying democracy in its member states. The EU is founded on misrepresentation, deceit and lies. The British are denied a referendum by our contemptible government and political class, precisely because they know that the result would be a resounding no. But whatever the result in Ireland, Britain will one day leave the European Union and restore its national independence. I am proud to use my position of office to campaign for Britain's unconditional withdrawal from the European Union. Thank you.
To find out more about who we are and what we stand for, go to the UK Independence Party website at www.ukip.org.